Friends, our universe is very vast, and who knows how much more vast it can become in the future due to its rate of expansion. But the special thing about this universe is that in proportion to its size, we humans are extremely small. So small that no matter how much we try. But we haven't been able to learn much about its origin or the life present in it. So far, Earth is the only planet where we can survive. As we all know, our Earth is round, meaning it's a solid sphere. This is a simple fact that we humans have known for a long time. But before this, there was nothing like that. In 1957, when the Soviet Union sent the first human satellite, Sputnik 1, into space, it was scientifically proven that the Earth is round. But even today, there is a group of people in our world who believe that our Earth is not round. Instead, they believe it is flat. People who believe this are members of the Flat Earth Society, and they exist all over the world believing in the Flat Earth theory. Actually, the current shape of the Earth doesn't really cause us any problems. But what if the Earth actually changed its shape and became flat, just like the beliefs of the Flat Earth Society? What would happen then? Since childhood, we've always been taught in geography class that the shape of our Earth is like an orange or a lemon. It's not completely spherical, but it's almost like a sphere. Its upper and lower polar areas are quite flat. That's why we usually experience almost the same climate here throughout the year at regular time intervals. But if the shape of the Earth changes and becomes completely flat, will it have any effect on our lives? And if it does have an effect, what will it be like? Today, we'll discuss this in this video from Documentary Library. So let's get started. If the Earth were flat, the gravitational force on Earth wouldn't work the way it does now, at least not near the Earth. Because of being spherical, the gravitational force works on everything in the same way here. Because of the spherical shape, the gravitational force pulls things toward the center of the Earth from all directions, which works in a uniform ratio. However, when the Earth becomes flat, the gravitational force on its surface will work in a completely different way. But if we imagine a flat Earth, then we can't even imagine gravitational force there. Because if this force works on a flat surfaced Earth, then due to its effect, this flat surface will return to its original shape, that is, a spherical shape. So here, some scientists say that in a normal state where gravitational force is active, it is almost impossible for the Earth to be flat. Regarding this, mathematician and physicist James Clerk Maxwell said in 1950 that the current operational law of gravitational force would completely cease to exist on a flat Earth, or gravity on a flat Earth. It will settle at its center, or all the things on the flat Earth will align towards its center. No matter how big the buildings are, they will all align towards the center. James Davis, a geophysicist at the Lamont Doherty Earth Observatory at Columbia University, said that a decrease in gravitational force, its shifting to a center, or its disappearance would cause catastrophe on Earth. People would be floating in the air. Jokingly, even the world record for high jump could be broken. But living on this flat Earth would not be possible for any living being. This would be a high-level natural disaster that would destroy everything. But after the Earth becomes flat, the Earth would have no atmosphere. The Earth's atmosphere is one of the basic necessities of life. As we have already seen, if the Earth were to become flat, it would lose its gravitational force. It's this gravitational force that sustains the Earth's atmosphere today. Once it loses this gravitational force, our planet will become atmosphere-free. As soon as this protective blanket of atmosphere is removed from our Earth, the scattering of sunlight coming from the sun will stop. Because of this, the sky that appears blue to us now will start appearing deep black, and the sun will come into sharp focus. Where the lack of oxygen will almost certainly cause every living thing to die immediately. Without the atmosphere, the vapor pressure of water will become equal to the outside atmosphere. As a result, the boiling point of water drops significantly, making it boil at much lower temperatures. Apart from this, most of the Earth's surface will freeze like ice due to the cold. But if somehow clouds are able to form on a flat Earth, then we would be able to experience rain there, but that rain would also fall at an angle. If the Earth becomes flat, then a lot of disasters will definitely come upon us. But the most disappointing event would be that normal rainfall would no longer happen on Earth. Rain would now fall at an angle on the Earth's surface, and in such a situation, drought on Earth would become almost certain. According to the Lamont Doherty Earth Observatory at Columbia University, due to the flat shape of the Earth, if gravity is still active at that time, it will shift toward the North Pole. Because of this, rain will start forming an ocean in this area in the shape of a large bubble. It will really look very strange. After the Earth becomes flat, we could get lost anywhere on Earth because global positioning system won't work here. As soon as the Earth becomes flat, satellites won't be able to work. They will have trouble orbiting a flat Earth. James, transportation will stop, and because there will be only one reason for all this, global positioning system won't work on a flat Earth, and the global navigation satellite system or global navigation satellite system will also stop functioning. That's why if the Earth becomes flat, it will become extremely difficult for us to travel from one place to another. Even a compass only points to Earth's North Pole, the center. After the Earth is flat, some journeys never end. How long will we keep wandering? Even if we ignore the global positioning system issue, there will still be many problems waiting for us with open arms. The point is that because the Earth is flat, the average travel distance on Earth will increase significantly. The places we used to reach in less time will now take us much longer to get to. We'll have to travel across the Earth, and that too by land, so just think how many days it would take to complete this journey. Our average travel time will increase a lot. After the Earth becomes flat, the northern lights that we can see today in the countries near the North Pole will no longer be visible to us, and the sunlight will burn us to ashes. According to National Aeronautics and Space Administration, there are molten metals flowing inside this round Earth, which create a magnetic force. Because of the rays around the Earth, the auroras or northern lights that we see at the North Pole are visible. But if the atmosphere disappears, these northern lights will no longer be visible. Because of this, the sunlight will directly burn you to ashes, and even the way we calculate time today will be disrupted. Friends, right now the Earth is round, so when it is night in America, it is day in Asia. This whole phenomenon happens because the Earth rotates on its axis and revolves around the Sun. That's why each country has its own time zone. But on a flat Earth, day and night would occur everywhere simultaneously, so it would be night in both America and India at the same time. There would be no need to divide it into different time zones. Then there would have to be a single time zone for the whole Earth, and it's... Apart from this, after the Earth becomes flat, cyclonic storms like hurricanes and cyclones would also disappear. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, that is, according to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, hurricanes occur in different places on Earth every year, and they are also called by different names like storms and cyclones, because of which a lot of damage is caused. In 2017 alone, Hurricane Harvey caused damage worth 2.9 trillion. These dangerous storms form due to Earth's Coriolis effect. That means storms forming in the northern hemisphere will rotate clockwise, and storms forming in the southern hemisphere will rotate counterclockwise. But if both hemispheres don't exist, then where will these storms form from? That's why scientists believe that such storms will also disappear when the Earth becomes flat. So have you ever thought about that dark, unknown world hidden thousands of kilometers beneath our feet? On August 26, 1883, when Indonesia's Krakatau volcano erupted with its inner fire, its roar was heard up to about 5,000 kilometers away. The waves of the sea rose up to 40 meters high, causing devastation, and more than 36,000 people perished in that destruction. But was that eruption just a story of the volcano's surface, or was its source hidden deep within the mysterious core of our Earth? Today we take you on a journey where science and mystery collide with each other. This is the story of the Earth's core. It's about that unseen, unknown center which controls every heartbeat and activity of our planet. But be careful, today's journey is not an ordinary story. Rather, it's a whirlpool of those unsolved questions that have puzzled scientists for centuries. So get ready, because today we're about to take a deep dive into Earth's deepest mysteries, Earth's core, an unknown world beneath our planet where we have been living for centuries, where we breathe and carry out activities all over the world. It's not just a ball of soil, rocks and oceans. Thousands of kilometers beneath its surface, there's a hidden world as well. But what is this core? Scientists divide it into two parts, the outer core and the inner core. If we talk about the outer core, it is like a liquid made of molten iron and nickel, whereas the inner core is a solid hot sphere. Its temperature is as hot as the sun. But the question isn't what the core actually is, the real question is why it is so mysterious. Our technology has taken us to the moon, our machines are still roaming on Mars, but reaching the Earth's core is still just a dream. The deepest mine ever dug by humans is Russia's Kola Super Deep Borehole, which is only 12.3 kilometers deep. But to reach the core, we would have to travel 6,371 kilometers. It's like we've just touched the surface of the ocean and started thinking that we've measured its depth. So how much and what do we really know about the core? And an even bigger question, do we really know as much as we think we do? Earth's magnetic field is an unsolved mystery. Did you know that right now, as you're watching all this, an invisible shield is protecting you and this planet from cosmic radiation and solar wind? This is Earth's magnetic field, and amazingly, this is its source. Molten iron flowing in the Earth's outer core. Scientists call it the geodynamo. Its process is so complicated that even supercomputers struggle to explain it. But there's a big mystery here. This magnetic field is not always stable. It keeps changing, gets weaker, and sometimes even completely reverses. Yes, you heard that right. Every few 100,000 years, Earth's magnetic field flips its north and south poles. This is called geomagnetic reversal. The last time this happened was about 780,000 years ago. But the question is, why does this happen and what kind of turmoil occurs in the outer core when it does? Some scientists think this reversal occurs when streams of liquid iron in the core become unstable, but its exact cause is still a mystery today. The question here is, what will happen if this happens again? Will our technology, our satellites, and our lives be able to withstand this change? Or will we have to live in a world like that, where all the old compasses will have become useless? The mystery of the inner core, a solid ball of fire. So let's go even deeper now. After crossing the outer core, we will reach Earth's inner core, a solid ball that is burning at a temperature of more than 5,000 degrees Celsius. It's so hot that if it were on the surface, it would even melt steel. But under the Earth, in this region, the pressure is so high that even at such high temperatures, the ball of iron and nickel remains solid. But do you know that understanding this inner core is not as easy as it seems? Recent seismic studies have made some very surprising revelations. The inner core is not just a simple sphere, there could be even smaller structures inside it. Some scientists call these the core within the core. And what's more, this inner core also rotates, but at a slightly different speed than the Earth's surface. This is called superrotation. Some scientists think this rotation makes the magnetic field even more complex. Scientists are currently surprised that we have more questions about the inner core than we actually know about it. Some basic questions themselves are nothing short of a mystery to us, like what exactly is this superrotation? And if the speed of the inner core's rotation changes, will its effects also be seen on the Earth's surface? Can earthquakes, volcanoes, or other natural disasters be affected by this? We might not get answers to these questions in the near future. Cars' birth is an ancient mystery. Now for a moment, let's go back in time. About 4.5 billion years ago, when our Earth was born, scientists believed that the Earth's core was formed when the hot molten material of the Earth began to settle into different layers. Heavy elements like iron and nickel were pulled toward its center, forming the core. However, even here, not everyone agrees on this point. Some scientists believe that the core was formed after a massive collision which gave birth to the Earth and the Moon. This is called the giant impact hypothesis. But the question here is, how did the core form so precisely that even today it maintains a perfect balance on Earth? And was the core always like this? Recent studies have revealed that the inner core might not be as old as we think. Some scientists believe that it could be only 1 billion years old. So does this mean that the Earth's core is changing over time? And if so, what does the future hold for it? The core and humanity, an unknown threat. The Earth's core is not just a mystery for scientists. It is also connected to our existence. The magnetic field, which is created by the core, protects us from solar radiation. If it gets weaker, the Earth will be nothing less than hell. Scientists have warned that the magnetic field has been weakening for the past few hundred years. In some areas, like the South Atlantic anomaly, it is already unusually weak. Is this the beginning of a new geomagnetic reversal? And if so, is it a warning sign for our future? It's not just about the magnetic field here. The activities in the core can also affect events like earthquakes and volcanic eruptions on the Earth's surface. That's why there's always a fear that any major change in the core could bring devastation to the Earth's surface. The limits of science and the search for the future. Today, we have instruments like seismic waves, supercomputers, and satellites that can help us understand the mysteries of the core. But even then, we've only managed to scratch the surface. Reaching the core is still impossible today. Looking to the future, scientists believe that the immense energy present in the Earth's core could power us for centuries. That's why we're trying to reach the Earth's core. But the path to reach it still won't be easy. Will we ever be able to develop technology that takes us closer to the core, or will we have to rely only on assumptions and models? Some scientists believe that to understand the mysteries of the core, we will have to look towards space. Studying the cores of other planets like Mars and Mercury can provide us with new information about Earth's core. But the question is, will humanity ever see the day when we have solved all the mysteries of the core, or will these secrets of our Earth remain buried forever and continue to challenge us like this? This is also a test for our human civilization to see how much we can truly understand the universe that gave us life. Friends, today we explored a world that lies hidden beneath our feet, yet we are still completely unaware of it. The Earth's core, that ball of fire, that mysterious center, not only keeps our planet alive, but also keeps our curiosity alive. Every new discovery brings us closer to it, but at the same time, it also raises new questions. Will we ever be able to fully understand these mysteries, or will the Earth's core remain an unsolved puzzle forever? On a cold night in 1609, in a small town in Italy, Galilei and Galilei are standing on their terrace. In his hand, he has a new telescope, which is truly nothing short of a miracle for the world of that time. And as soon as he turned that telescope towards the sky, his eyes saw something that changed human history forever. Among the shining stars, he saw the 4 moons of Jupiter, a world beyond Earth, one that had never been seen with the naked eye. In that moment, Galileo not only saw the planets, but also gave a new direction to humanity's questions. Is our sky so mysterious that it never reveals its secrets to us? But today, hundreds of years later, when we look at the same sky, one question keeps coming to our minds. If Galileo could see the planets with his simple telescope, then why can't we see the other planets from Earth with our naked eyes? The stars in the sky, which are light years away from us, appear to shine to us. But where do planets like Brihaspati, Mangal and Shani hide, which are in our own solar system? Is the sky deceiving us, or is the way we see things itself wrong? So let's embark on a journey today to solve this mystery. The mysterious veil of the sky. First, it's important to understand that our sky is not an ordinary thing. And no, it's not transparent like a car's windshield. Rather, it's a vast, dynamic, and complex cosmic stage where things work according to their own rules. In the morning, during the day, and in the evening, this sky looks like a canvas, as if nature has poured colors onto it. But as soon as night falls, it becomes as clear as glass and allows us to see the universe through it. We can see stars in their thousands and millions, but the planets seem to get lost somewhere. But the reason for this is not the sky, but rather the limitations of our eyes and the nature of the planets as well. We'll talk about the sky in a little while, but you all must know that planets do not shine on their own like stars. Stars produce light because of the nuclear reactions happening inside them, like our sun, but planets only reflect the light of the sun. That's why their brightness is less compared to stars, so since they shine less, they are also not easily visible. But wait a minute, actually, this isn't the whole story. If that were the case, then we should be able to see some planets easily, like Mars, which is famous for its red color. So then, what's the real obstacle? Look, everything in the universe is in its place, and that place is determined by distance. Our Earth is just a small part of the solar system, and the other planets revolve around the sun in different orbits. For example, Mars, which is our neighbor in the solar system, it is on average about 225 million kilometers away from Earth, but this distance is not fixed. When Earth and Mars are on the same side of the sun, this distance decreases to about 56 million kilometers. And we call this time opposition when Mars is closest to our Earth. Similarly, outer planets such as Jupiter and Saturn are even more distant from us. The average distance of Jupiter from Earth is 778 million kilometers and Saturn is 1,427 million kilometers away. And at such a distance, when these planets reflect the sunlight, that light becomes very weak by the time it reaches us. And the planets appear very faint to us, like a tiny point of light that we can't easily see, but not being able to see the planets. Is distance the only reason for this? Absolutely not. If that were the case, we would never be able to see the planets. The truth is, under certain special conditions, we can see the planets. When and how should we observe the planets? Did you know that some planets like Buddh, Shukra, Mangal, Brihaspati and Shani can be seen with the naked eye? Yes, you might not believe it, but humans have been observing these 5 planets without any telescopes since ancient times. Even before the invention of telescopes and binoculars, people in ancient times knew that the planet Mangal is red in color. But to see them, it's important to have the right time and the right place. For example, Shukra, which we call the evening star or the morning star, can be seen in the west after sunset or in the east before sunrise. It's very close and the brightness of our sun hides this planet somewhere. But if that's the case, then why can't we always see them? The answer is our environment and our habits. It's no secret that today, by spreading pollution everywhere on this earth, we've brought it to the brink of destruction. Nowadays, most people live in cities. The glitter of cities, the lights on the streets, and the illumination of buildings have all People living in cities probably hardly ever get to see a sky full of stars. Seeing the planets is a far-fetched thing. Yes, there's no denying that they must see a hazy sky and some stars, but is it really that clear? Due to light pollution, dimmer objects like planets disappear from our sight. If you go to a village or a hilly area where there is less artificial light, you can see not only stars but also planets in the sky. So, in a way, we can also see the glow of colors of these planets, like the red color of Mars and the light yellow color of Jupiter, the wall of the atmosphere. Our atmosphere is also a major reason why we can't see the planets easily. Earth's atmosphere acts as a kind of filter which bends and scatters the sunlight. And this is the reason why we see the sky as blue during the day, but this same atmosphere also creates obstacles in seeing the planets at night. The dust, moisture, and other particles present in the atmosphere further weaken the reflected sunlight coming from the planets. Apart from this, if the weather is bad, there are clouds, or fog in the air, then it becomes even more difficult to see the planets. Because of the atmosphere, the light from the stars that shine less gets scattered in the atmosphere itself. It doesn't even reach our eyes, that's why we see fewer stars. We can see planets from the atmosphere, but for that, we have to go to the right place. Far from the hustle and bustle of your city, where there is no light pollution and no air pollution, you will be able to see even the faint light of the planets from there. The atmosphere is the main reason. Because of it, we can barely see things that are not very bright. Or you could say that the atmosphere is the main reason why we can only see things that are very bright. The movement of planets and the play of time. Besides this, planets also do not stay in one place. They revolve around the sun in their orbits, and the Earth is also moving in its own orbit. This causes the planets' positions in the sky to constantly change. For example, if you want to see Mars tonight, you need to know which part of the sky it is in. You can get this information from a star chart or an astronomy application, but sometimes planets are so close to the sun that their brightness gets overshadowed by the sunlight. We call this conjunction. At such times, it is almost impossible to see the planets, but when they are close to the Earth, as during opposition, their brightness increases even more and it becomes easier to see them. So the position of the planets also determines whether we will be able to see them or not. From ancient times to the modern era, our ancestors observed the planets without any telescopes and also understood their motion. In Indian astrology, planets were worshipped as the Navagraha: Buddh, Shukra, Mangal, Brihaspati, and Shani planets as Buddh and Shukra. Today we have modern technology, telescopes, and spacecraft. Still, seeing the planets with the naked eye is a completely different experience. It connects us to the curiosity of that ancient human civilization. When humans first looked at the sky, they might have wondered if there was another world out there. The art of observing planets. If you also want to observe planets, you need to follow some basic steps. The best time to observe planets is after sunset or before sunrise, especially to observe Venus, which is visible in the morning and evening. Number 2. Avoid light pollution and air pollution. Go to a dark place away from cities, mountains, villages, or deserts. These are the best for astrocamping. Number 3. Understand the sky. Use star charts or apps like Stellarium or Sky Safari. Number 4. Be patient to point out the positions of different planets in the sky. It takes time and patience to observe the planets. Stars twinkle while the brightness of planets remains steady. And among so many stars, you'll have to put in quite a bit of effort to differentiate a planet. That's why it's important to understand the difference between planets and stars. And number 5. Wait for clear weather. Clouds or fog can obstruct your view of the planets. Choose a clear night or clear sky to observe the planets and you'll definitely be able to see them. Our Earth is a small part of the solar system, but it connects us to the infinite mysteries of the universe. The reason we can't see the planets isn't just distance, light, pollution, or the atmosphere. It's also a lack of our curiosity. Today, we are so busy that we've forgotten to look up at the sky. Today, our homes have concrete roofs. Today, we don't like sleeping under the open sky like we used to. But if we pause for a moment and look at the night sky, maybe we'll see the same brilliance that Galileo saw hundreds of years ago. Every planet, whether it's Mars, Jupiter, or Saturn, tells a story. They try to tell us the deep mysteries of this universe in their own language. So next time you go out at night, be sure to look up at the sky. Maybe a planet will call you with its shine and you will become a part of that mysterious world, which is beyond our Earth. When we look at the sky, we don't just see stars or planets. We also see that infinite possibility, which reminds us that we are a small but important part of this universe. Among the countless stars and their planets, our Earth is perhaps the only place where life has reached this stage. It's our good fortune that we are located about 26,000 light years away from the center of our galaxy. In a region that is lifeless, desolate, and isolated, but the center of our galaxy, the Milky Way, is much more dangerous and terrifying. This galactic center, filled with intense radiation, gravity, and mysteries, is in no way ideal for us humans. But what if our planet were in such a galactic center? What would happen then? If our Earth somehow reaches the center of the galaxy and somehow manages to survive there, what would our experience be like? What changes would happen in humans? And would we get stuck if we went there? These are the kinds of questions that often come to our minds when we think about an alien civilization that lives at the center of a galaxy. Today we'll try to put ourselves in their shoes. So friends, fasten your seatbelts, secure your chair straps, because in today's space journey, we are going to travel through millions and billions of stars to reach the center of the galaxy. Milky Way, that is our own galaxy, in which about 100 billion stars are spread across an area of nearly 100,000 light years. In other words, even if you travel at the speed of light, it would still take you 100,000 years to go from one end of the Milky Way to the other. From this, you can imagine that our galaxy is very large in size, and besides this, it contains billions of stars, planets, and gas. They are not stationary in one place. This whole system is dynamic and constantly evolving. If we talk about our entire galaxy, the Milky Way is traveling through space at about 1.3 million miles per hour. You, Sarkusha, and Abtar were just standing still. That's its shape. The Milky Way is a spiral galaxy, which means it looks like a disc in shape. It has a big bulge in the center and spiral-shaped arms. The spiral arms are those regions where new stars are born. Most of the stars, gas and dust gather here, far from the chaos. This is where our solar system is located. At a distance of 26,000 light years from the galactic center, this distance is really very great. Our solar system also orbits the galactic center, and it takes about 230 million years to complete one orbit of the galaxy. Now just think about it. About 65 million years ago, there were dinosaurs on Earth, and since then, look how far we humans have come. But our solar system hasn't even completed a quarter of an orbit around the galaxy yet. If you look at it, the position of our solar system in the galaxy is such that it impacts our life in many ways. For example, because of our position, we face a lower amount of cosmic radiation. Asteroids and other types of impacts are also quite rare. And due to our location, we are able to enjoy such amazing views of the universe and the galaxy. We are able to explore space, and we are fortunate that we can observe others. Our neighborhood is very peaceful. We can even see nebulas, galaxy clusters, and views of our own galaxy. And that's because we are sitting at a very special point in the galaxy. You could say that we are lucky, we are fortunate, but what if we weren't this lucky? If our Earth was also at the center of the galaxy, then at the center of the Milky Way, there is a huge bulge, which we call the central bulge, and it is filled with stars. There are billions of stars here, and right in the middle of this cluster of stars sits a gigantic monster. Its size is about 10,000 light years across. If we talk about the center of the Milky Way, the environment here is very extreme. It's so terrifying that even the bravest astronaut would start to tremble just by looking at it. Here, high energy particles and intense magnetic fields would be disastrous for our electronics. Our spacecraft wouldn't work here, and the intense radiation field would burn any object to ashes on its way. This place is definitely not for our fragile life, and we know this very well. So if our Earth were somewhere near the galactic center, that place would be completely different from our world today. So to understand exactly what the conditions would be like there, let's start from the beginning. As we've mentioned before, the central region of our Milky Way is one of the most dangerous radiation zones. If Earth were there, it might not wipe out life completely, but survival would be extremely difficult. It's true that even there, around our Earth, there would be a giant magnetic field, just like it protects us from harmful radiation right now. Would its magnetic field work there as well? The answer is no. It would be like using a small umbrella to protect ourselves from a big storm. The magnetic field of our Earth cannot protect us at all from the dangerous radiation there. So for us humans, the conditions there are not suitable for living, but there would definitely be some organisms that would adapt themselves to those conditions and evolve to survive there. Have been found, which can keep themselves alive in such extreme conditions. But what if we humans could evolve ourselves to survive and live there? What would happen then? If we learn to live in those conditions, then we humans, our skin will evolve in such a way that it can protect us from radiation. Plants will grow in a different way because the sky will always shine with the light of Arbo stars. We will evolve to live there, but even then, things won't be easy for us while living there. Still, intense radiation will be our biggest enemy. Because of the radiation, our DNA will keep getting damaged continuously. This might be the biggest punishment for living there. Apart from this, our DNA animals and plants will also keep falling victim to mutations in our DNA, because of which we will keep seeing changes there every moment. And these are just a few examples. We're not even talking about the extreme cases here. It's possible that while living there, our bodies might undergo metabolic changes. It's also possible that our bodies might need food and other resources more quickly. creatures that glow more in higher radiation will shine even brighter in the radiation levels there. You can imagine yourself at night in such a forest, it would be glowing green and blue because of these creatures. That was another big change. Yes, gravity, Gurto Akashan, is very strong at the center of the Milky Way because right at the very center of the galaxy, a huge monster is sitting there, a supermassive black hole, a black hole much bigger than our sun, which is called Sagittarius A. Now that will be our neighbor. Incredible. Now the biggest fear will be that it might swallow us or we might get crushed by its gravity. If we're lucky, nothing like that will happen. But don't think that the disaster has been averted. The gravity of the black hole will still trigger earthquakes and volcanic eruptions on Earth. Nothing will remain stable on Earth. No permanent structure can withstand it. And we might need to build floating stations to live in or houses that can withstand such massive earthquakes. To put it simply, we would have to fight such disasters every day, escape ocean waves every day, and face storms every day. That means we would have to compete with nature every day for our survival. The worst part of this story is that even if you want to leave that planet, sorry, you won't be able to get out of it. You are trapped there forever. Because launching rockets in such intense gravity won't be easy, and our electronics won't work in that intense radiation either. Here, gravity won't just affect things. According to Einstein's theory of relativity, because of such intense gravity, time will pass more slowly there. Living near the galactic center causes people's ages on Earth to increase more slowly compared to those living farther from the galactic center. The time spent on Earth near the galactic center, just 1 year on a distant planet, can be equal to thousands of years. Just like we were shown in the movie Interstellar. Besides this, the galactic center of the Milky Way is a busy place where something or the other is always happening. Stars, planets, and other celestial bodies can be seen moving here and there at high speed every day. The positions of the stars in the sky will appear to change rapidly, and this also means that we won't be able to navigate in space there. First, we'll be surrounded by billions or trillions of stars, all moving very fast, so we won't have any stable reference to navigate. Besides this, global positioning system will also not remain reliable due to strong gravitational forces and radiation, which means that if you get lost in space, you still won't have any tool to navigate. And even if you get lost in a dense forest on Earth, only the creepy animals of that forest will be able to find you. Humans probably never will. There, scary things can become even scarier. But now let's take a look at some amazing views that we would see while living there. In the galactic center, there would be numerous molecular clouds around us, where stars are being born. Seeing those regions would be amazing in itself. Apart from that, the spectacular views of the Orion Nebula, Eagle Nebula, and all these would be right in front of us. And believe me, for a space lover, this would be nothing less than paradise. But if we look at all of this together, our world in the galactic center would be completely different. There would be some scenes there that we have never seen here before. But still, this journey was quite interesting. To understand that the place where we are right now is nothing less than paradise. We are really very lucky that we live here on Earth in a peaceful place in our solar system. And this is one of the best places in the universe. So what do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments. And to keep traveling with Antariksh Yatra like this, be sure to get your free ticket. You know what that is, right? Press the red subscribe button below and also hit the bell icon so that your name is definitely on the passenger list next time. Stay curious, be happy, namaskar.